Project 2025 is a 900-page blueprint created by the Heritage Foundation. The biggest goal of Project 2025 is expanding presidential power. The document explicitly advocates putting all federal agencies under direct presidential control. It's a legal theory called the unitary executive theory. This means the FBI and Department of Justice would no longer act independently, that government workers could be fired and replaced with political loyalists, and the Department of Education would be eliminated entirely. Trump has already started implementing this playbook. Through Elon Musk's so-called Department of Government Efficiency, Trump has frozen federal hiring and purged career civil servants. Project 2025 calls the FBI a, quote, bloated, arrogant, lawless organization and proposes gutting it completely. The goal? It's a government that serves only the president, not the American people. Project 2025 labels diversity and inclusion efforts as woke extremism and proposes eliminating civil rights protections entirely. And Trump's administration has already begun dismantling DEI programs across the board. It's worth mentioning that Project 2025 isn't just about politics. It's about imposing religious rule. The document explicitly states the government should enforce Christian values, religious freedom should override all other civil rights, and marriage should be legally defined by the Bible. It describes LGBTQ+ rights as a, quote, bullying agenda, and proposes eliminating anti-discrimination protections for queer people. And it doesn't stop there. Project 2025 seeks to ban abortion medication, limit access to contraception, and force states to report miscarriages and abortions to the federal government. Trump has already signed an order blocking federal abortion funding, and his health secretary is reviewing restrictions on abortion pills. And Project 2025 has plans of instilling this idea of Christian nationalism to American youth by redirecting public education funds to religious schools and removing science-based curricula that contradict Christian teachings. For example, it calls for revisiting the way evolution and climate science are taught and replacing them with curriculum options that emphasize religious perspectives, and that the federal government should ensure education aligns with, quote, America's Christian foundations. Trump has already expressed support for expanding religious education options and has proposed rolling back certain federal education guidelines. Trump's biggest promise? Mass deportations. And while Project 2025 doesn't fully spell that out, it does lay the groundwork by proposing dismantling the Department of Homeland Security, merging immigration enforcement agencies into one massive force, eliminating visa protections for crime and trafficking victims, and fast-tracking visas for migrants if they pay a premium. Now, Trump has already begun implementing these changes with mass ICE raids and expanded border funding. And any progress that's been made towards fighting climate change will be lost. Project 2025 explicitly states ending federal funding for renewable energy, to increase oil drilling and coal production, to withdraw from the Paris Climate Agreement, again, which Trump has done, and to remove environmental regulations on corporations. Trump's team fully embraces this, with policies that aggressively favor fossil fuel industries and roll back green energy programs. Trump supporters see this as a necessary course correction, a return to limited government, strong executive leadership, and conservative values, while critics argue it goes too far, centralizing power, undermining democratic institutions, and restricting civil liberties. And whether you see it as a restoration or a reckoning, its impact will be felt by every American.